And how long have you been here at Sirius?
Ooh. Started out at XM in '01,
Okay. Oh,
and then
wow.
came to Sirius in trying to remember '07,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've been here.
Oh,
I'm in
wow.
satellite
Yeah,
radio
yeah,
for
yeah.
a while. Ladies and gentlemen, very, very special guest in studio with us. As you all have undoubtedly heard, and we're all looking forward to it. The newest version of She's Gotta Have It is going to premiere on Netflix Thanksgiving. And here, the producer and director, right?
No, not director,
Just
executive producer.
executive producer. Okay,
Exactly.
I'm giving you director
Yeah, no.
too, like your husband, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
No, he would not appreciate
I'm sorry.
that.
Tanya Lewis Lee is here with us today. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited.
This was a big deal. I remember when it came out like yesterday,
I
and we were
know.
all in college, and it was like the greatest thing
I know. I
ever.
remember it too, sitting in that theater in that black and white.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was just so vibrant and Nola,
Yeah.
oh, it was fantastic.
And of course, Spike at that time was practically new on the scene, and nobody was making movies about us, addressing
Exactly.
anything about us, doing anything with us. It was just like totally
How and
revolutionary.
well, that's the thing that's so amazing. I hear people talk about, well, in Black Hollywood today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's amazing because it didn't exist 30 years
That's
ago.
right. That's right.
And now all of these people are working, in film and television, in front of, behind the camera. It's amazing.
What about She's Gotta Have It? What made that the one to do and to pitch to Netflix?
Well, I think really it started, Spike at the time had been talking about gentrification in Fort Greene,
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn,
Mm-hmm.
so very passionately. And so the conversation began with how can we put this into the work? And then it just led naturally to, well, how about exploring a young woman in Fort Greene, Brooklyn today? Well, you've already had that, so why don't we just update Nola
Right.
Darling and what would her world be like
Yeah.
today?
Yeah. Indeed. Um, the last time he was here
Hmm.
that we talked, and that's probably been a little over a year or thereabouts. I asked him about this new piece in terms of filmmaking and people going to streaming and Netflix and
Hmm.
whatnot. He played very core with me.
Yeah,
I
wait,
said
what did he say?
he said stay tuned. Something might be happening.
Okay,
That's
okay.
what he said to me. Because every time I talk to people in the industry now, it's such a proliferation
Yeah,
of platforms
right.
that also didn't exist before. So this is a good thing.
Well, it is, and it is different, right? I mean, first of all, it's so great because there are so many opportunities, right,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
with new players in the field. And then to be able to work with a company like Netflix that really loves the filmmaker, right?
Right.
And it really is about the filmmaker, and very supportive of that. And Spike, who, really wasn't so keen on doing television, quote unquote,
Yeah. Yeah.
really took the challenge to make a long film, as he likes to say.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
says, I didn't make television.
Right.
I made a film.
Right, right.
You
That's
know,
in
pieces.
episodes, so to
Exactly.
speak. Yeah,
Exactly.
I guess that's ultimately what it's really all about. So, what about the story of Nola Darling? I know when it first came out and we all enjoyed it, but it also sparked a discussion about women's sexuality, didn't
Hmm.
it?
Yeah.
And what about the updated version renews
Well,
that conversation?
I think what's interesting about it is back then it was such a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my gosh, she has three lovers. Oh,
Right, right.
now it's kind of like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what women do. That's what we all do, right? I mean, we're sexual beings. So I think for Nola, the conversation isn't so much about her sexuality as much as it is about who she is and who she is as an artist, really trying to figure out how to make her mark on the world, figure out who she is. And in the process of that, she has multiple lovers, as any woman would
Yeah.
of her age.
And things have also changed. It changes. Has it been 30 years?
It has been 30
Oh my
years. It
goodness.
has been 30 years.
Okay. I guess things too have also changed overall in terms of the portrayal of black women and black women being in leading roles, right?
Yeah, well, I think it's great because you do have other shows, right? I mean, you can look at The Scandals, The How to Get Away with
Right, right,
Murder,
right.
and you can look at Issa Rae and
Yeah,
Insecure,
right,
right?
right,
So
right.
it's really wonderful that we do have many images of women of color and on TV, of black women on TV, and I think that NOLA is just another experience, right? I mean, the fact of the matter is we're not a monolithic group,
Right,
right?
right.
So it's really kind of fun to, experience all kinds of black women,
Yeah.
in the world, and I just look forward to being able to do more.
Is that the goal to do more, even on this
Well,
platform? You think?
oh yeah. I mean, I'd like to do more with Nola. I mean, and
Okay.
that's the thing too. Like, and she's got to have it. I mean, Nola's not the only woman in this
Of
either,
course. Right,
right?
right.
So in a way, she was in the original.
That's right. That's right.
But in this new version, you have her girlfriends, which are very
Mm-hmm.
different from her. You have
Mm-hmm.
her mother, you have her neighbor, so
Right.
you get a sense of other women. But yeah, the goal is always to. I mean, I don't think there are enough stories about who we are as black people out there. So the goal is always to do more.
What about on this platform though, Tanya? In terms of Netflix and the internet, is this really now the new
Oh my gosh, I
frontier?
love it.
Frontier?
I love it.
Really?
Oh
You do? Okay.
yeah, I love it. I think it's
More
fantastic.
so than the big screen. Is the big screen going to be obsolete? You
No,
think at some point? Okay.
I don't think the big screen ever gets obsolete. I have to say, we had the premiere of She's Gotta Have It Saturday night at
Mm-hmm.
BAM, and being with the audience, we showed 2 episodes, and being with the audience, watching that, it's almost a shame that we're not all able to do that, because there's something
Uh-huh.
about coming
Yeah,
together
it
as
is.
community
Yeah, it still is,
in a
right.
dark room,
That still is, right.
watching it, and and just experiencing it together. It's just so much fun.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think the series is going to be fun when you watch it on your own, but watching it with a group of people
Yeah, there's still,
is a
yeah.
special thing.
There's still that
So I
collective.
don't think it ever goes away.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's about, it has to be a special experience for people,
Indeed, indeed.
But I also think that it's really wonderful to be able to have an opportunity to sit with your computer. I would hope that for She's Gotta Have It, you guys, I suggest you watch it on a big screen if you
Yeah,
can,
yeah,
because it
yeah.
looks really good and it's made to be seen on a bigger screen.
Okay.
Not that you can't see it on a smaller screen.
Right, right.
But I think it's really wonderful. I think it's wonderful for artists too, because it gives us all more opportunities to be able to do our work and showcase it.
Obviously you watch films
I watch a lot.
and on Netflix and all that.
Oh yeah.
Do you binge?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh my God.
binge is okay.
Oh, when it's good, when it's good, I love to binge.
It's
And
not all.
I'm wired sometimes because
Yeah.
I've got to go to the next episode.
But then when you binge, all the episodes are gone,
Well,
and then you go through withdrawal.
well,
That's my
exact-
problem.
well, what I
and so I
do-
kind of have to pace it.
Well, yeah, you do. You have to savor it, right?
Okay.
I've done that too. You get to like episode 6 and
Right.
you've only got 4 more. And so
Mhm.
you savor the last 4 really carefully.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's disappointing when it ends.
She's got to have it premiering on Thanksgiving on Netflix, folks. Be sure to check it out. So I have to ask you this, and you may not be able to disclose, if not, I'll understand, but I'm going to ask. So what are the benchmarks for a series like this on Netflix? Because honestly, we've seen some other series come out on Netflix that people loved, but then they just didn't have what it took to be extended
Right.
and to go forward. Are there certain benchmarks that
Well,
across the board or
It's not
different
that
ones?
I'm not allowed to disclose. I
Okay.
mean, Netflix doesn't tell us.
Really?
Oh yeah, no. Netflix doesn't tell us. I mean, what we know is we need people to show up and watch the show. That's
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
We need people watching. Now, it's not like a movie where you have to necessarily show up that first weekend because they allow people to
Right.
find the show. But
Right.
yeah, we need people showing up and watching it, because if they don't, there isn't a second season.
I see. Well, folks, we have to do this. We have to support.
Yeah.
She's got to have it on
And I hope
Netflix.
supporting means loving and enjoying.
Well, I know we
and
will.
Laughing out loud and learning something new and
I know we will, because we love the first one. So can you give us a tease in terms of what next? What else are you all thinking about putting out there? Or is there a conversation about reprising any other
Well,
40 Acres Films.
it's funny. Spike is right now working on a new film. He's shooting right now.
Right.
So he's got that coming. I finished a film that I produced last year, but based on the book Monster by Walter Dean Myers. That will hopefully we raise the funds and finance that film independently. So we're hoping to go to a festival soon to sell the film. And I have some other films set up in different stages of development, and Spike's got a lot of stuff. So we both have a lot of things that happen, in the hopper.
Is there, I mean, more and more we're seeing films about historical figures, of African American historical figures. And of course, Spike has done his own, most notably Malcolm X. But is there an historical figure that either one of you has thought about or discussed that has yet to be portrayed on film that you're considering or that you would like to see?
Well, I can answer this for Spike for sure. I know Spike probably like to do Joe Lewis.
Really?
I don't I know that that's something that he would probably really like to do at some
Okay.
point.
Okay.
And a historical figure I mean, my gosh, there's so many. I mean, you know, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that other than that I know that there are a lot of historical stories out there. I just did Finding Your Roots on Steve
Yeah,
Gates' show.
I heard that.
And he told me some things about my family that I thought were really interesting that I'd like to maybe explore as film.
In fact, I believe he revealed that one of your ancestors fought for the Union
Yeah,
in
in
the
the
Civil
Civil
War.
War. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think that there could be some very interesting stories in there
Uh,
to unpack in there. So, maybe looking into my own family.
you ever had any desire to be in front of the camera?
Not so much.
Really?
Not really. No, I have to say I really like the process of writing and producing and sort of being the hand and the back. You know, if I were ever to do anything any directing, I'm not a director and not something I really would want to do. The only thing I always say is that maybe a horror movie one day. I feel like that
Really?
would be a really fun thing to direct.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
just for fun.
Was your obviously you're executive producer now? Was your did you already have an interest in film and being in this role when you met Spike, or did you evolve?
Well, it's so funny. In my high school yearbook, I wrote that I wanted to write and produce and direct television, not film, but television. I mean, I
Huh.
always wanted to do television. But when I graduated from college and I told my parents that, they said, I don't understand. You need to go to law school or business school.
Right. Right.
So I went to law school and
Get a real
worked
job.
yeah, exactly. But worked my way back into doing what it is that I really wanted to be doing, which is
Yeah.
this.
Seems like I remember somebody saying that to me about radio.
Yeah,
You get a real job. You just asked me as we were coming on how long I've been here. We went on satellite radio, and nobody thought it was ever going to be anything.
That's amazing.
And I was one of the first people to come on, actually the first talk show
Wow.
to sound on XM at the time, the very first day, and everybody, even my colleagues, because on AM radio, like, dude, you're crazy, and you just never know. It's
Here,
interesting.
years later,
It's
exactly.
interesting how things end up working out. Ladies and gentlemen, she's got to have it. Those of you who were around when we were around, we're still young though.
Yeah,
by the
for
way,
sure.
we're still very, very young. Those around remember the original. It was great. It was revolutionary. We were just all so excited to see something of our own portrayed on film, and 40 Acres represented that. So now on Netflix, a whole series, episodes, and great timing on Thanksgiving too, because that's
Thanksgiving
perfect
Day.
binge,
Exactly.
a perfect binge weekend.
A perfect binge weekend. And to your point, you don't have to watch all 10 episodes
Yeah.
Thanksgiving Day. You
Yeah.
can watch maybe 2,
Yeah,
and then you
spread
come
it
back
out.
Friday.
Spread
Come
it
back.
out.
Yeah, exactly.
and watch it with the family, and
Put
really,
the
really
kids,
look.
put the kids in another room though.
Okay, right. Are there ratings on this
There
game?
no, there are no ratings.
There are no ratings. What I
but
thought, but still, yeah,
It is mature subject
it's very
matter.
mature. It's mature.
subject matter.
Although I don't know nowadays, our kids seem
I
to
mean,
know.
they said it's probably not that big a deal for them, truth be told.
Yeah, my son's 15, and he,
He's seen it all.
knows stuff and says, "I'm like, where did you?"
Yeah, no, that's true. That is so true.
That's real. Your kids okay?
My kids are great. Yeah, they're 22 and 20.
Wow.
One graduated from college. One's a junior. It's amazing how fast it goes.
I remember when your daughter was born. I just thought it was so revolutionary when you all named her Satchel. I always thought that was just so. And she's a girl, right? But I was like, go ahead. I was all about
Yeah.
that because Spike and I were cut from the same cloth in terms of sports and
Right. Okay.
the Negro leagues.
Right.
And because I went to Georgetown, I mean, he was
Oh.
rocking all
Oh.
the Georgetown gear
Always
when that
back
was,
then?
when that was what was
Patrick
going on.
Ewing
Right.
and
And now our boy Patrick won his first game
Yeah,
yesterday.
so
So
good.
I
I
know
love
we're all
seeing that.
happy about that. And of course, Spike was a Nick too. So great
Yeah.
memories.
Yeah. Good
You guys have given us a lot, and we appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Folks,
Goes fast.
Netflix, it does. Netflix, folks, check it out. She's got to have it. Please, ma'am, please, sir. Great Thanksgiving weekend treat.
Check
Be
it
sure to
out.
check it out. All right.
Enjoy.
Tonya Lewis.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Tonya Lewis Lee, our very special guest. Thank you, Tonya.
Thank you so
Good to
much
see
for
you. Bless
having
you.
me.
All right. Mwah. All right. Take care.
Thank you.